welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure things all out with your hosts, Brandon and Colin. On this week's show, beach the boat upon the beach. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am well. It is hot again. So
I know it's terrible.
had our false fall part 1 for a couple days. It was very nice. Very nice waking up and it being like
78 degrees is not false fall.
No, but waking up and it being 56 degrees.
That's true.
I'll take that.
Just not. I'm just glad it was below 90 for a few days. That was very handy. It's like, yes.
I know.
I beautiful.
I was so happy. Yeah. So that was good. We had some nice days. Of course, it's 56 in the morning, and Megan walked out, pulled her hoodie around her closer, and
parka,
went,
right?
And went,
mittens.
Fall is coming.
And then trod across the floor in her mittens and mucklucks, right? Yes. To curl under a wool blanket.
Wool blanket next to the hearth.
And the hot water bottle.
With her hot water bottle and her hot chocolate next to her. And she pulled her cap down over her ears. Yeah.
As happens every time it dips below 80. Right? That's just how it works.
It is. It's part of the annual cycle. It's the yearly rhythms of the world. Where Megan goes and switches out her summertime slippers for her wintertime slippers.
Obviously.
and then
there they will be until next June. End of June. Chance.
Yeah. The furthest tail end of June as possible. She grabs another blanket off of the stack to carry 2 around with her now from room to room.
Oh yeah, nice.
So yes, we're enjoying it. It's almost fair time up here. So
yeah, with the subpar grandstand lineup, obviously.
Look, I've had to move past this. I have. I look at it every now and then, and I just shake my head.
You just think about what could have been.
Yeah.
Right? You're just man, if only.
I think of the possibilities that they had left, that they've left strewn on the floor.
Yeah, right. the marvelous possibilities that could have been. Right. Dang.
So, yep. No, and now we deal with the annual talk of the town around fair time. So a week before fair starts, like fair kicks off in 2 days, but a week before, they've been doing livestock shows all this week because this is all the prelim stuff,
the real fair.
Yeah, this is the real fun stuff. But then you've got that week. And then you have 2 more weeks of fair with the accoutrements and everything goes along with that. So every year, talk of the town, we all talk about it. We all talk about how bad are the flies going to be this year? Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the locals talk.
I like it.
That's what the locals talk about when the fair is in town. How bad are them flies?
I mean, probably quite bad, I would have to imagine.
It's real bad. They're citywide. They are citywide.
I mean, obviously.
I can't even imagine what the neighborhoods are like in the area around the fair. We are removed at least a little bit, though not out of grandstand volume level. So we're like Dad's house as it relates to the drag strip, right? You can hear it. So,
right?
It's
pretty far away, but you still hear it.
Can still hear. So, yes, we have already seen an uptick of flies, even at our house, where I'm like, yes, the annual, speaking of rhythms of the year, we get the trailers all parked around, the RVs are getting hooked up, and fly populations are booming.
Oh, yeah. How exciting.
Oh, it is so tremendous. That's, like I said, that's the exciting stuff going on. Actually, no. The real exciting stuff, this is the stuff I live for. Drama.
Oh.
Yeah. City drama. Always fun.
Cheese made time. Let's go.
Downtown. Okay, picture it. Downtown. Abandoned building. Built in 1880. Person, look, allegedly.
Okay, good. Allegedly. Like it.
The previous owner may be in serious time, like federal prison for tax stuff. Maybe. Allegedly.
Oh, that's not like a real prison. It's fine.
So, building has sat vacant for many, like we were going on like 3 decades now, for being perfectly honest.
Boy, that was weird.
Okay. They apparently I learned something through this process that if your building, house, commercial, residential, otherwise, but has active and open citations and not necessarily lawsuits, but like citations for code violations and things like that, and you are being held at the county level with the city, it is illegal for you to sell that or to move ownership to something else.
Without resolving the issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, color the city's surprise when they tried to contact the owner to find that he had sold it to his son.
Oh, yeah.
For allegedly tax purposes.
Yeah. Allegedly $8.
I'm not 100% sure on this. Why are we talking about this, friends? Well, the building is actively collapsing. Actively.
Ooh, fun.
On the side of a busy street. Oh, and it's the brownstone kind of building, so it's connected to, yes, other businesses.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
It's part of a block. It's part of a whole thing.
So the city has been trying to contact this person to let's say, hey, we need you to do something about this.
He's in federal prison. Like,
allegedly.
Allegedly. You would think it would be a relatively simple job of tracking him down, right? Like,
but because of legalities that are above my pay grade, nothing has happened. Oh, and they don't live here. So this is also fun, right? Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't, but he wasn't anyway. So the building is actively collapsing, but enter in conspiracy theorists. Boom, because that's right. That's right. I know you were asking. Last year, did the city replace the sidewalk in front of this building? Yes, they did. Is that when conspiracy theorists claim that this problem started? Yes. So it's actually the city's fault that the building is collapsing. And how dare they go after poor, allegedly tax evading person for all these damages when it was the city's fault?
Now it will come to no surprise to many listeners that I am not, in fact, a structural engineer. However, I think I could probably come up with several good reasons to claim that a sidewalk repair does not cause a roof to fall down. I don't think
you know what? Related. You know what causes a roof to fall down?
Dry rot.
Dry rot.
30 years of neglect.
And 3 decades of no maintenance, active leaks, and
leaks
crumbling.
Yeah.
So it turns out
that will make the timbers rot away and fall apart. How that works.
Yes. Yeah. Neglect here, people, is the answer. 30 years of neglect for a building that was built in the late 1800s.
Yeah, 1880. Yeah, okay? Man, come on. Okay.
It's not a spring chicken. These buildings are expensive to upkeep and require constant maintenance. So when you stop and the roof starts actively leaking and then collapsing internally, the whole thing is coming down. So the city...
Anyone who's ever been to a New York would know this, right? If you've seen scaffolding, this is why. Right? Because buildings want to come back down. Okay, you have to actively keep them up.
It's a constant process. And so the city had to close off the street. So, and the businesses that are connected to this building, as well as the businesses across the street, have closed down. And and because they're afraid of flying bricks and who knows what going across to their patrons who are coming in to try and shop. And did I mention the street is shut down? And what was the name of the street, you asked? Good question. It's Main Street.
I was going to say, is it by chance Main Street?
It's Main Street.
Really, if those kind of buildings are still on a street in the Midwest, it's gonna be called Main Street or like Broadway.
Yes.
That's really
yes.
Those are your two choices.
Two choices, and it's a busy street. And so the city had to go before a judge and get like emergency powers to come in and demolish this place. And so they are entering.
Oh my.
Yeah. Well, because they don't own it. They don't own it.
Oh, yeah. No, because they don't. But.
Yeah. So also enter in conspiracy theorists.
Right? Oh, no.
Because in the last 2 years, has the city come in and condemned and torn down houses that were held together by nothing but asbestos and spite? Yes. Yes, they did. And so does the conspiracy theorists view the city as money hungry, land grabbing, evil people looking to steal property from the common man, the poor common man? Yes, they do. And so there's like one half of the city that's like, I will show up with my sledgehammer to take this building down. This is dumb. Why are we doing this? And then there's the other half that are like, the city cannot and should not take this building down. They need to let the owner try and fix it. And it's like, see previous 3 decades. Come on, people.
We had a similar problem in the town I work in, right? There was a house that had like burned, and then they just like left it there for ages. Yeah. And the city had this exact same problem. They were like, we want to tear it down. And they're like, their lawyers are like, you can't do that because it's still privately owned. They're like, but it's right here just being a burned out husk of a building.
Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything. It was over like 6 years, I think. Like nobody did anything. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't envy them in this. And honestly, they're in a hard place. Like, again, like the history of my town.
But I would say in a commercial district.
Right.
I would imagine. Like, I could, this thing with the house is a little bit weird, maybe. But like in a commercial zone, I feel like the city probably has an easier time exercising eminent domain.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they did get it. They were granted it. And now they are going through this process. But in order to tear it down, like we've got to do inspections for like asbestos because, stuff.
Spoilers. There's asbestos.
Definitely asbestos. There's a 100% chance that it's made of all asbestos. So they got to do that. And it's this long process. But why am I telling you this story? It's because 2 days ago, our local guitar shop and music supply store hosted a contest. It was a battle of the bands that was titled Rockin' the House Down. They set up across the street and played a concert to see if a band could play so loud that they knocked the building down.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. It's time for all the old dudes that still have Marshall stacks. Yes. Just come on out. Right.
Yes. It was
those perfect. Big Ampeg cabs, right? Those big 8x10 Ampeg cabs. Oh my God.
Yeah. It was. Yes. I mean, they jumped on this so fast. They started marketing this.
That's good. I was like, good. I like it.
Well done, people. And it was, an excuse to get a bands together and stuff. And the whole, the impetus was, knock the building down. And I was like,
I like it.
You know what?
With rock.
This is what I'm here for. I'm 100% for this. Thank you. Thank you, people. They did knock it down, but that's fine. That wasn't.
Dang.
They were really, really hoping. But I love that kind of like, you know what? Like, and of course, it's the rock artists that are like, you know what? There's a third way. We'll just, I don't.
Yeah. You know who could have knocked that building down? Skid Row. Come on. You know it's true. You know it's true.
Yeah.
Humbled, right?
They just like it was just so well done because it's like it's the topic of the entire town of what's going to happen with this building, why are they doing this, what's the legal status, there's a guy who flies his drone down the closed street every day and does a 360 thing and then post it to Facebook so you can get on there and do like a turn left and right thing to see what the status of the
you can just see how many bricks have fallen since yesterday, right?
Yeah. Answer a lot. Okay. And so
surprise.
They took this like really hot button, like really divisional thing between people and families and friends. And they just made a wonderful, like lighthearted thing about it.
Yes.
And I applaud them. I was so happy when I saw it.
Yeah. I like this. It's great.
Yeah. So the saga continues. They are,
yeah.
I'm very. This has been just the highlight of my 2 weeks, and it's been increasing in culmination. And the city also hired like a month ago a new communication director person, and I don't think that person's getting paid enough. The hours of the day that this person is commenting and replying to things on Facebook, they're going to need a 6-week vacation once all this is done. Like
once it does come down, right?
Yes.
Like
batting down information. Like they're on it. This person is all over commenting as the city of where we live. And I was like every comment, they're like they've got the links, they got the photos, they got the stuff, and it's basically just like copy and paste to everybody, but they're really earning
have they actually just posted the same comment like 87 times? Because people on the internet, I don't know, here you go, they will ask the same question just over and over again. It's like children in grade school, right? But they'll just keep asking the same question, even though to see they don't ever look at the comments before they comment a thing, right? Nobody ever says, hey, I wonder if anybody else has said this. No. We have a lot of main character syndrome, obviously. So they're like, I am the first person to come up with such a genius question. And then it's just the most basic question of all time. And everybody else has already asked that. Somebody asked that question hours ago.
Yep. Actually, just above you. If you look.
Yeah. The preceding comment actually asked and answered, but don't worry.
Right there.
If I was the city man, you probably can't do this as a city person, but you should be like, see below. Cha-cha.
Oh, man. There are times.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. There are times where it's just you can tell the person's starting to get real. Well, you can tell the age of the person because they'll start comments with oof, we wish, !
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe not. Back up on that just a wee bit. But yeah, this has been so much fun to watch. I am here for 100% of this.
There you go.
Yes.
Until it comes down on its own volition at 2:30 in the morning and the whole city wakes up because of crashing noises. What? Oh, it's just the building. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's just everything's fine. I'm going to send you some photos of this beautiful building.
All right.
This is from a couple days ago. This is what it looked like.
So more bricks have fallen since.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they released these photos of the inside of the building. It was beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, it's cool. Yeah. Look, dry rot. This is what this is, people. This is. You don't, and there was nothing in the building. That's the other thing too.
Heavens to Betsy.
No,
that is.
It was
the front is coming off of this building. The sidewalk. That's what caused the upstairs window to collapse. Obviously, and this. See, your problem here is this floor joist has completely separated from everything else, and it's knocked the beam sideways. Oh man, that's
I think you mean former floor joist.
Yeah. Floor Error 404, floor not found, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've been in this building in Dark Souls 2, right? Yes. I think this is No Man's Wharf. Sorry, just to nerd out a little bit.
Wow.
These beams are horrendous.
Primo.
Oh, you can see the old slat flooring.
Yes.
That used to be there. Every other slat is in place.
Kind of loosely.
Oh, this is so much mildew. I can't imagine what could have caused this wood to fail.
Can I interest you?
What could be this back wall stains that where you can see water has been running down to the bottom floor.
It's just straight through. It's just there's no.
It's a colander.
Inside.
It's a colander.
Yeah, that's what all this is. But no.
Oh my!
It's definitely the sidewalk. Okay.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, I will say when these photos started surfacing, the sidewalk people got real quiet, like real quiet.
Yeah, like I see that it was in fact not the the sidewalk.
Well, when you put it like that, I guess now I'll just be seeing myself out. Don't mind if I do.
Oh dear.
Oh, man. Yeah. So take care of your buildings, people. That's all I'm saying. It's great.
Dang, that's pretty bad. I have not been doing anything near as exciting. Mostly just like cleaning the house. The annual end of summer cleaning before going back to work. Because like once we go back, like there will be no house upkeep for a while, right? Because it's like so last end of summer, the traditional end of summer house deep cleaning / spider murder spree, right? It's been so hot that like there's no water anywhere and it hasn't rained and I can't really figure out how long. There's a lot of spiders that are like being born and like coming inside the house, and so you have to just like get them all.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a absolutely enormous like black widow spider on my porch. I was like, yeah, you can't be here. Like right by my front door. No. I feel like the temptation is too strong for you to want to come inside my house. Hiya.
Never mind. Yeah. I did not. Entrance denied, actually.
Yeah. So we did that. We cleaned out the dryer vent. Ooh. Exciting.
Yes.
Right? That was adventure that happened. Right? So that was great. Did that finally, got that fixed. And then it's like other little things. I had to have the guy came over and fix our sink today. Like it was the clips that hold the sink on to the countertop, like I guess just had broken. And so the sink was like just sort of sitting on the counter.
Oh, it was a free floating sink.
Yeah. And so like we had to like re-caulk it and like put the hardware back on the bottom. So I don't really know how that fell off, but like it just, I don't know, just after a long time, it just came undone and broke or whatever. So I had to do that. And like, we have somebody coming tomorrow to look at our garage door because the remote thing didn't work. And so when the landlord was here, he was like messing with it. I was like, I tried to do this and I tried to reprogram this and I tried to program a brand new thing and it didn't work at all. And he's like, oh yeah, I can do that, blah, blah. And he tried it like 3 times. I was like, yeah, no, something's broken. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh no.
I think it's the receiver thing. Like that takes the beam signal like on the actual opener. He said he thinks that might be shoddy. So someone's coming tomorrow like that. That's pretty much it, right? Just doing some house cleaning, really. So, and tomorrow I'm going to do some laundry because I haven't been able to do laundry because the dryer has been like not attached to anything for a couple days. So
That makes it kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, kind of can't. I mean, I guess I just hang it up and dry like 5 seconds outside, I suppose. But
who wants to do that?
That's really all I just do, like housey things, right? Nothing too exciting, really, here. So, yeah, I do have for you a controversial hot take of the week from me. Right? You ready?
Oh.
Hold on to your horses here.
I'm here.
So, I was thinking about this after returning from my European adventure, right? And I was thinking about some things, pontificating. And then I was thinking about the decisions that were made in the early American history, right? And my hot take here, there's many people in the country are about to not like this, but I think it was absolutely a mistake to not make New York City the capital of the United States. I said it. I said it.
Okay.
I'm there.
Wow.
It's out there.
Wow.
That's my hot take.
Okay.
Right?
How? Okay. So help me connect the dots here. You're traveling over in Europe.
Traveling over here, many capital cities were visited, right? And when you think about Washington, D.C., have you ever been to Washington, D.C.?
I have not. Yeah.
Right.
I've not.
As a city, it's not good. It's not a good city.
I've heard this.
Right. It's not really anything. Right. The only thing that anybody wants to go to Washington, D.C. is like the National Mall. Right. That's it. We have these big, it's like it started life as like a big, grand, planned city. And then like immediately fell apart. And then there's like nothing else. Right. So it's this huge like national avenue with like all the stuff, the government buildings and like overly large architecture, like really far away from everything and really far apart. So they look enormous. Right. But like as a functional place to like exist, it's not really that good. Yeah. Right. So we think about like a city, right? And the weird thing about like other capital cities, right? Even like Sydney, right? You're just walking around and you're like, do. Oh yeah, that's the Parliament building. Anyway, do.
Oh sure,
yeah,
because they built
that's
up
the High Court
them.
building right there. Just like right there, randomly, like And even though like you might be like, oh, doesn't Europe have like big giant palaces? Well, like yeah, but like a lot of them aren't like being used anymore. So there's like, bleh. But even the ones in like Scandinavia, because they still have like kings and stuff, they're like ceremonial positions. But like,
sure,
yeah, here's the royal palace, but it's just kind of like over there
thing,
it's fine. And then you just go over here, and then there's like other stuff, and then like, oh, you're just like casually walk around a corner, you're like, oh yeah, here's the Parliament building. Like, oh yeah, over there, that's the High Court building.
Sure.
It's like not a big deal, right? Like it's a little more whatever. And it just like fits functionally in a city that you can like exist and do other things in, right? Like if you go to Washington, D.C., it's like only a capital.
It's like those little kind of like honestly, it's kind of like suburbia where the house is there, maybe, but like there's nothing to support it. You have to leave the area where the houses are to go to the restaurants and the grocery stores.
Yeah.
A thing.
And like you can't do anything there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. And like, so I think it's very odd. And you always get like a weird vibe from like planned capitals anyway, right? Because you look at places like Turkmenistan and you're like, ooh,
was it?
You get Kazakhstan, you're like, that's
sure,
right? And then you're like, Washington. Oh, it's got this. Even more so recently, right? Like, right? Like, but like, because like architecturally, it's kind of like cool. Like it's the one place is very lovely. Like the National Mall is very great, right? It's very nice. It's everything in like this just giant line.
Yeah.
It's a little too far apart. But like even then, like you can see everything in one. Like, you cannot walk there. And everything is so incredibly large that like it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You walk for like 5 minutes and it feels like you haven't moved because everything is so big and so spread out, right? But like you have, but like you can't tell. But so this is my hot take that I've discovered, like as I was thinking about this. Like I know everybody in the United States is always mad that like New York gets all the attention, but like yeah, I think it probably should have been the capital of the US. Like I feel like that was a bad
because it okay, help me with the history here. It was for a brief time, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then they're like, no, well, right. The other reason that Washington, D.C. exists is because they're like, no, the capital has to be in the middle because we have to have the equal representation of the slave state.
Okay. Look, mistakes may have been made.
Yeah. You think? But regardless of that mistake, which is a big one, right? Like moving the capital, making the planned city. Like I know they got like the fancy architects and blah 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 blah. But like, come on, it just feels like not a city, you know. And there will be people that argue with me. They're like, "Oh, but people live there." Like that doesn't mean it doesn't feel like a city.
I will say, like, from what I've heard from people who do live in Washington D.C., it is barely like they barely make that life work for how it's constructed and what isn't there in the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just saying, yes, there are people present, like cool. Yeah, great.
But like, yeah, it's like very difficult to live your life. And like nobody really lives there that's not in government anyway.
Right.
You know, there's like, I guess, service industry people, but like it's not really like a diverse economy, right? Like there's not a lot of that there, you know. So like is that kind of city too. It's kind of meh. So that was my big important hot take right from this week. I had a thing about conspiracies, but it's much darker than yours, so I'm gonna save that one for a little bit later. I don't want to bring us down.
Oh,
right. I don't want to bring us down. We need to put a pin in what is a conspiracy theory that is absolutely insane, but you actually believe it, right? I need to put put a pin there, right?
I don't know if we want to. Okay.
Like, spoilers! It has nothing to do with the U.S. government, right? Okay, I'm tell you that. Right?
I'm disinterested immediately. Never mind.
Okay. Well, I'm saying for this is outside of current events, which are also could also appear on the list. Just on the.
Oh no, we're going.
We're going. I have a different direction, but I think we should save that for later because it's a lot darker, and we don't need to go there today, right? We'll save that for
fine.
The winter time, right? When we're doing our winter reading book.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Absolutely.
We're reading Tolstoy.
This is exactly what I was just about to say. Once we're cracking open that chapter 15 in Tolstoy.
Yeah.
Ooh, now.
We all know Tolstoy is much too long for us to read on the show.
Yeah, we would never be done. Okay.
Never be done.
Fine. Fair.
So, but we'll allude to him often.
He will be, in the background, looming, dark and depressing.
Like he just sort of is. Anyway.
Yes, always. At all times.
So, yeah. At all times.
Oh man.
Well,
I look forward to that for sure.
Yeah. So we'll save that for later. But I haven't really done anything this week, but I do have a sea shanty of the week for you. Right.
Yes.
Right. So this week, going back, classic one here. We're gonna go with "Leave Her, Johnny."
Leave Her, Johnny.
Right. This is a very popular sea shanty. Apparently, it's like one that a lot of like folk singing groups do in their repertoire. Right. Of course, regained much popularity after Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, obviously, but it is very catchy, right? And a very fun song, right? There are references to said song in a songbook from the 1860s.
Oh.
So, a nice, it's a little bit older than some of the other ones I had last couple weeks. It is probably some sort of windlass or capstan shanty. So a working song, spinning the thing, as will, it's important for this chapter. Coming soon. The theory is that the her that we're referring to in the song is the ship, right? It's a song about coming to shore and disembarking from your voyage, right? Right. But, the times were hard and the wages low, and it's time for us to leave her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there we go. For the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Mm.
So the her in question is the ship, right? And so the journey is over. You must disembark and leave, and you're sad about it. She's like, oh man, I am a sea person, and I guess I don't know. I'm a sailor boy, so you're sad that you're leaving the ship, right? Oh. Boom. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Hey,
speaking of ships,
my goodness, this was
oh boy. Many thoughts about this.
These three chapters that we're going to work through, it's like the danger. He even alludes to it. It's been kind of lighthearted to him up to this point and kind of a joke. And boy, howdy, does it get real up close and personal.
Yeah. This is the first time I've noticed like a real shift in tone.
Yes.
Right. From our man, Jim here. Right. And really the first, like, I don't know. We have it's like a realization has happened almost that like we're in very different waters, pun intended, right?
Wow.
From before, even the cannon firing on the stockade, we didn't really get this kind of vibe. It was still like gung ho and all like, happy go lucky, pip pip cheerio, stiff upper lip, kind of
what
British stuff. Right. But like this chapter, the I Strike the Jolly Roger chapter, like we have a very, like it gave me a different vibe, right? From how he started describing the ship, right? So he's on the ship, right? Jim, let me start that sentence over. That was not good. When we last left Jim, there we go. He was like hanging on to the bowsprit.
Yes.
Because he just like leapt aboard.
Indeed.
Jumped up and grabbed hold of the boat as he was passing by because he's, got good plans and thinks ahead. He pulls himself up on the boat and he's like lurking a little bit. He's like trying to figure out what's going on. And immediately, like the first thing that he comments on is how dirty it is. Right? Like he talks about how the deck hadn't been scrubbed and there are empty bottles and dirt and detritus just everywhere.
There's handprints all over the
footprints, broken stuff. This is the first thing he notices.
Yep.
Right? And this theme keeps coming up in the chapter when he's looking at how the pirates inhabited the ship. It's a complete disaster, right? There is absolutely no regard for anything, right? Like nothing. And I think that sort of shifts his perspective about these people, because before he was like, oh yeah, we'll take it to him and blah 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 blah. And I think just now, right now, is the first time he's like, this is a dangerous situation to be in, right? I think this is like really the first time it sort of sets in for him. It's right now, almost all the way through the book.
Well,
right.
I mean, you can
Like
imagine
before,
you can imagine the setting of the last time he was on this ship. Think back to what was then. It was crewed by everybody. They had just pulled into the bay, and it is like a whole other world that he's stepping back onto, void of all people, save spoilers, some people, but like. You're right.
They've won.
Right. Like genuinely the scenery around the world that he used to be is now tainted, smeared, and marred. Which, like you said, like, this is the true character of those people who we were just with and what they've done and are doing to kind of like almost his naivety of that is now left behind, in a sense of like he thought he understood or knew, and now this is the revelation to that, kind of like what you're talking about there, of like he's seeing this now with fresh eyes of what the situation actually is.
Yeah, I think so, and I think part of that's represented by the absence of the captain, right? Captain Smollett is like he is a very stereotypical English person, right? Yes. Proper. Right. Everything must be in order. He's a hard man, really. Right. Like, disciplined, probably pretty fair, but a very stern, hard fella. And like, that is the one side is like order, and now we are seeing the complete opposite of once the pirates are in charge, it is complete disorder and disarray with complete disregard to everything. Really. And I think it's shocking for him. Right.
Yeah.
And we just get a very like the ship now is a visual representation of the difference between the type of people that Jim has encountered. Right. On the one hand, we have the captain, the doctor, even the squire that represent like one type of person. And now we're seeing the ship as it represents the other type of people. Israel hands, and then of course chief among them, literally Silver,
yeah,
right. Like this is like squalor and depravity that he was not expecting, and is like, oh, this is worse than I thought, right. And again, before he was with other people, so like maybe he was a little bit insulated because the captain was there, and he's sort of like radiating this aura of like everything's gonna be fine because I'm here and I know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that sense again of that naivety and view of the world, and that it was not all as it seemed, and that there was a lot being suppressed and kept down of the true natures of the people that were around him.
Yeah. And I think he's known for a while because of what happened at the very beginning back at the Admiral Bimbo, right? Like he kind of knows, but like even then it was like, oh, I just ran away and then the soldiers came and then everything was fine. It was like, now he's like alone, completely surrounded in their environment.
Yeah. Well, prior to this, it was still one big grand adventure of like, hey, it's just kind of wild and crazy guys out here. Haha, isn't this great?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've slowly been seeing like a shift, but I think this chapter is like a smack in the face of like, this is the reality now. These people don't care about anything. This is like a completely different type of person than you were expecting, right? And then I think that transfers over to the next chapter that we'll get to here in just a minute, right? Yeah. That it like really folds into that well of like we start with the ship, and now we have, here in a minute we're going to get to this is embodied in Israel hands, right? It's like he is like the personification of this, just villainy, know, like
yeah. So he he gets aboard and he sees the two men that he thinks are mostly dead, but Hans is not, and
turns out he's not all dead.
Not all dead. Mostly dead.
For a minute, yeah.
It's great.
That is great. Oh man.
I'm adding that to my list.
But yeah, so he kind of like, he's hiding in the forecastle, he's looking about, and he sees them, and he's sort of watching them from afar, and he's pretty sure Red Cap guy is dead. And then he sees Israel Hands, and he sees him like slump over. But then he sees him get back up a little bit. So he's like, okay, so he's alive. So I need to be careful of that guy. Which, spoilers, yes.
Always careful of that guy.
Although he still is trying to... I feel like in the way that he talks to him, he is trying to embody Captain Smollett a little bit. Right? Because he says, when he walks up to him, he says, "Come aboard, Mr. Hands." He's trying to play it cool. Oh, you know? He's trying to like what I feel like we don't get it spelled out here, but I feel like he's trying to be like, what would Captain Smollett do in this situation?
Fair.
Because of the way that he's talking to him, he's trying to be like curt. He's trying to like project that I am in control of the situation when I think he knows that he is not at all.
Very not, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think I think Israel brings that up once he starts talking to him, and he's like, blah blah blah. He's like, give me some brandy, right? And he's like, why should I do that? And he's like, well, near as I can figure, Captain Hawkins, because he's like, I'm the captain now. Mr. Hands. Yeah, nice. He does agree to like help him, get him some food and some bandages, to help bandage this big gash on his leg, because as Israel Hands points out, he points out the same thing we pointed out last episode of, hey Jim, how you gonna steer this ship all by yourself? Right?
Yeah. What's your plan now?
Person who doesn't know how ships work. So like,
yes.
So he's like, listen, because Israel looks at him, he's like, so me and this dude here, red hat guy, we got her all under sail and we were piloting him about. So you need at least two people. And so you need my help. So if you would kindly get me something, some food and some drink and some bandages for this leg of mine, I will help you. And he's like, there's a interesting back and forth, and he's like, I don't believe you. He's like, yeah. He's like, here's what I want to do. And he's like, yeah, well, that's what we're going to do. He's like, I don't want to die on the boat, and I want to do this. And so you need to trust me at least a little bit. And Jim's kind of like wary, though. Like he knows to not do that. But he's like, oh, on the other hand, he's right.
Yeah.
And I do need someone to tell me how to steer a ship.
Yep. He's not altogether like completely clueless on this. He is doing this warily, but you're right. He's got to go along with it for now.
He does. Even like towards the end here, we have this exchange, like right before he does it. Mr. Hands is talking and he's like, yeah, why I have no choice. Not I'd help you sail her up to Execution Dock by thunder. So I would. And so Jim is still being like, okay, well, I guess I believe him. Right. I have a footnote here in my book that says Execution Dock is, of course, where pirates were executed near the Tower of London.
Sure. Okay.
Thames. So that's what he's talking about. Okay. But Jim even says, well, as it seems to me, there was some sense in this. So we struck our bargain on the spot, and in 3 minutes had the Hispaniola sailing easily before the wind along the coast of Treasure Island. So he's like, I'm still going to believe him, right? Jim is still, I think he's a little more wary because of some of his experiences before. Like he he was like, oh, these pirates aren't so bad. Oh, Billy Bones has been brutally killed in the river, or was about to be if he wouldn't have just died of a heart attack. Oh, Long John Silver is not such a bad guy. Oh my gosh, he's the most villainous human ever. Right. And he knows to be wary of Israel hands because of, that scene. He was one of the people talking to Silver in the apple barrel. Jim mentions that. He's like, I know to be wary of him because I know what he thinks about us, right? What he thinks about me, because I heard him in the apple barrel before. So I think he knows now to be a bit more wary, not just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Let's go for it. So he's like, okay. So he is a little bit more careful, at least for now.
Yeah.
So that's good. We've had some learning, Jim. Finally. Took you a long time.
It's good. Great job.
Right.
And I love
this is in my book. This is page 170.
Better late than never. And I love how this chapter ends with this, like, again, this is brooding. It's brooding. It's creepy to be like, it's just the whole scene, how everything's going. It's not good. And the way this ends this, he says, I should, I think, have had nothing left me to desire but for the eyes of the coxswain as they followed me derisively about the deck, and the odd smile that appeared continually on his face. It was a smile that had in it something both of pain and weakness, a haggard old man's smile. But there was, besides that, a grain of derision, a shadow of treachery in his expression as he craftily watched and watched and watched me at my work.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like he knows that he's just waiting. Like Jim doesn't know for what, but he can tell he's waiting he's biding his time for something. Jim isn't sure what yet, but he knows to be leery. Again, we've learned. Look at that.
Good job.
Finally. Right? Here we go. So next chapter, titled applicably Israel Hands. They've been sailing around the island, and he's starting to they have this conversation. He's like, can you get rid of red hat guy here? Turns out his name is O'Brien. He's like, can you like throw him overboard? He's, stinking up the joint. And he's like, I can't because I'm tiny. So
yeah, just going to have to be there.
Yeah. So they have a bit of an interesting talk about like, morality and like biblical things a little bit, right? Because he's like, well, you should pray. And he's like, why?
Right. I thought that was interesting.
And he's like, well, as we talked, blah blah blah. He's like, the dead can see and the spirits are here and blah blah. And he's just like, yeah, no. This comes back later a little bit, so we get the first salvo of this here, right? But later on, he's like, why, you should do this. You said yourself, blah blah blah. And he's like, I don't reckon it would be any good now. Come this far, and there's no point really. But before that, he does ask him to get some. He's like, can you go get me some wine? This brandy is too strong for me. And this is like alarm bell central for Jim. He's like, what?
Even I, who not that familiar here, read that and went, what?
Yeah. And it's in the last chapter, we had a bit of a moment where he's like, he goes and looks below a little bit, and he sees like just how prestigiously they must have been drinking ever since they got here.
Right.
And he's like, what do you mean you want some wine? So he's like, now he's curious about why he wants that. So he's like, he decides to play along. Right. I saw where my advantage lay, and that with a fellow so densely stupid, I could easily conceal my suspicions to the end. So he's like, yeah. What do you want? White or red? It's like, I don't really think that matters right now. Whatever you can find. So Jim scuttles down the ladder, takes his shoes off, runs across the deck to the other ladder, and pops his head up like a little groundhog. Gopher Jim, peeking out. And what does he see? The gasp. He spies Mr. Hands, right? He had arisen from his position to his hands and knees, and though his leg obviously hurt him pretty sharply when he moved, where I could hear him stifle a groan, yet it was at a good rattling rate that he trailed himself across the deck. In half a minute, he had reached the port scuppers and picked out a coil of rope, a long knife, or rather a short dirk, discolored to the hilt with blood. Da-da-da. So he looks at that and he sticks the knife in his pocket, and then he crawls back over to where he was, pretending that he had not moved at all. The Jim has learned two things. Number one, Digital Hands can move a bit better than he's letting on. And number two, he now has a knife, which is not great news for Jim. But
no,
at least he knows, right? He knows. So he went down to continue to fetch the wine, put his shoes back on, came back upstairs, and started kind of giving him that. There's some more conversation here where he asks about tobacco, and this is where they bring up the praying thing again. And he's like, yeah, no. For 30 years, I've sailed the seas and seen good and bad, better and worse, fair weather and foul, provisions run out, knives going and whatnot. Well, now I tell you, I've never seen good come of goodness yet. So this is kind of the ethos of piracy, right? Like, he doesn't, as a pirate, he doesn't really believe in this, like, good deeds nonsense.
Well, you left
right?
off.
He's like,
right after that, where he says, dead men don't bite.
Yes. That's my view.
That's my view.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, so as they still have some time to run, we just have a brief passage of time here. And now they're getting close to the inlet. And the plan is, of course, to beach the boat upon the beach.
Yes.
I guess. Because there is no anchor, because Jim, conveniently cut it off. Okay. So they have to beach the boat. So they're looking for an area on the North Inlet that's got a nice flat beach. They do have to wait a little bit because they don't want to beach it. They need to wait till the tide is at its highest, and then it's going to go back out again. Because if they beach too early, then the boat won't be up high enough, and then it'll get washed out with the tide. Right. So they have to wait till the tide is basically coming out so that they can then ram it up there, and then it'll be stuck. So it can be beached. Right. Otherwise it won't stick, basically. So there's some element of waiting here. We've had to wait for a while between these things, these points here. But now we're there, and they're starting to aim, and he's kind of guiding him, and he's telling him what to do. And he does admit that clearly Mr. Hands here knows his stuff, because he's very good at piloting this boat. He knows where to do. He's just following his instructions all together, and he's like, and it turns out I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. He's because it's real narrow right through there. You're right, and it was hard to navigate in there, and it was because it was like, it's not that long of a distance, but man, it was really tricky.
Yeah. So he was, kind of impressed by that, and he got so distracted by this, right? So we're there. The excitement of these maneuvers had somewhat interfered with the watch I had kept hitherto, sharply enough, upon the coxswain. Even then, I was still much interested, waiting for the ship to touch, that I had quite forgot the peril that hung over my head, and stood craning over the starboard bulwarks and watching the ripples spreading wide before the bows. So he's waiting. He's watching the boat run up towards the beach, because the boat has to like slam into the beach. So he's like waiting. He's watching this happen. And all of a sudden he's like, he turns around.
Yep.
And here is Mr. Hands halfway towards him already, dirk in hand.
At the ready.
I did like, we both must have cried out aloud when our eyes met. But while mine was the shrill cry of terror, his was the roar of fury like a charging bull.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. I like this visual.
Yeah. Everybody went eek.
Yeah. He was so startled that he let go of the wheel or whatever, right? And which
tiller,
did
right?
cause it to, the tiller to like slap him in the chest, because Israel in the chest, because he was holding it, because he was holding the boat over so it could ram up on the beach, right? So it could lay down when he got up there. But he did that. So he dodged and he whips out. He suddenly remembers that he has this pistol in his pocket, right? Literal Chekhov's gun here. And he pulls it out and he pulls the trigger and it goes click.
Oh, right.
And then he goes, oh, yeah, I went swimming. Duh.
I totally, yes, I love that. When he was like, yeah, he goes, huh, oh, right, there's water. I didn't.
All right. Can't swim with your black powder pistols, obviously. Who knew? So now he's like, all right, back to running. Yes. And so there's a bit of a Tom and Jerry-esque thing happening here where they're running around, and he does realize, like, he almost cornered me in the stern, so I need to be running away from him, but not like so far away from him that I'll be trapped in the bow.
Again,
right? So we kind of got to like go around and around, right?
Yes.
He's trying to go circles. That's his plan here.
That's his, yeah. It says, wounded as he was it was wonderful how fast he could move, his grizzled hair tumbling over his face, and his face itself as red as a red ensign, as a haste and fury, right? And he's now this is real, like it's right up in his face now, like the pursuit is on, and he's scrambling to get away.
Yeah. He does say, still, as I say, it was a boys' game, and I thought I could hold my own against an elderly seaman with a wounded leg. Indeed, my courage had begun to rise so high that I allowed myself a few daring thoughts on what would be the end of the affair. And while I saw certainly that I could spin it out for long, I saw no hope of ultimate escape.
Yes.
Right? So he's like, I can run away, but like, I can't run away. You know what I mean? He's like, I can keep running around in circles, but like, I'm still trapped on a boat with this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to do. There's no end game. I'm stuck playing keep away. I don't know how to get out of this situation. Right. However, it has come to pass that the boat is still hurtling towards the beach. So in the midst of all of this, the boat suddenly careens into the sand and cants over to the port side. Right. Yeah. Because of course it can't sit flat on a beach because it's pointy. So it hits the thing and it rams up on the beach and then it lays over down on the left side. Oh. So the deck is now canted at about 45 degrees.
Yeah.
And so we were both of us capsized in a second, and both of us rolled almost together into the scuppers, the dead red cap with his arms still spread out, tumbling stiffly after us. Right. So he's real close. He almost gets kicked in the head by Mr. Hands. He has a brief second to escape because Hands is entangled with the dead Mr. O'Brien here. And so he runs up the mizzen shrouds, the ropes that are hanging from the mast, right? He like climbs up them. He's like, I can't, run across the deck now, clearly, because the deck is laying down.
Yes.
Supine, if you will. And so he climbs up the ropes, the mizzens. And so that's what he does. So while he's up there, he's up there just enough. He realizes, oh, I have a second. I can reprime my pistol. Yes.
Oh, right.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's like I got a little bit of breathing space. I'm up here high. Mr. Hands does start to climb after him, but it does take him a little bit longer because he does have only one leg that's functioning well.
That is limited a bit.
Yeah. But as he's about halfway up, he gets finished and we get the dramatic one more step, Mr. Hands, and I'll blow your brains out.
Mm-hmm.
Dead men don't bite, you know.
Oh.
Okay, God, Jim, a little too confident here, buddy. Not John Wick. Okay, calm down. We're not the Bruce Willis with the one-liners here. All right, you need to go.
Oh,
welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, and now, interesting. After he says this, it says he stopped instantly. I could see by the working of his face that he was trying to think, and the process was so slow and laborious that, in my newfound security, I laughed aloud.
Yeah. A little overconfident, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Israel's trying to talk him out of it, right? He's like, well, I reckon we're fouled, you and me, and we'll have to sign articles. I've had you, but for that there lurch, and I don't have no luck, not I. And I reckon I'll have to strike, which comes hard, you see, for a master mariner to a ship's younger like you, Jim. And Jim was like savoring this victory so much that he kind of stopped paying attention a little bit. And all of a sudden, there was a sharp pain in his shoulder, right? Something sang like an arrow through the air. And I felt a blow and then a sharp pang. And there I was pinned by the shoulder to the mast.
Right.
However, in the ultimate backfire, perhaps literally, in the horrid pain and surprise of the moment, I can scarce say it was by my own volition, and I am sure it was with an outconscious aim. Both of my pistols went off, and both escaped my hands.
Mm-hmm.
They did not fall alone. With a choked cry, the coxswain loosed his grip among the shrouds and plunged headfirst into the water. Yeah.
Intense
here, right? We have such a, right? So Israel was trying to like lull him by talking to him, all the while drawing back the knife. He flings it at Jim, right? And Jim is so surprised and so shocked that he twitches, but when he twitches, he discharges his brace of pistols directly into Mr. Hands.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Works.
Yeah. And in our next chapter, he is struggling to cope with this fact, right? And I always do like this, how we have to like think about this kind of thing, right? The ramifications of what's just happened, right? It's a little less action here. We're like, yep, sure did. Anyway, do, right? We get some real emotion here from Jim. While at first he's a bit shocked and he's trying to figure out how to unstick himself from the mast, because he's also in a bit of shock because he looks down and there's just a knife in his shoulder.
Yeah.
Stuck to the mast, right? But then he kind of realizes, like, okay, it's not like in my shoulder. Like it almost missed him, basically, right? So it's just like through the skin a little bit and then through his clothes. So when he like convulses a little bit, it like rips out of his skin, which again, not pleasant, but that part's solved. But he's having a hard time dealing with what he's just happened, and he's looking down, like because of the way that he's sitting in the mast, he's like looking down because Israel fell basically straight down, and he can just see him
right
under the water, right? I can see him lying huddled on the clean, bright sand in the shadow of the vessel's side. A fish or two whipped past his body. Sometimes by the quivering of the water, he appeared to move a little, as if he were trying to rise. But he was dead enough for all that, being both shot and drowned, and was food for fish at the very place where he had designed my slaughter.
Yeah. This makes it all the more eerie because he doesn't just disappear and go out of sight. He's just in the crystal clear water, just down there. Right there.
He's just a couple feet away, and you can still see him, right?
Yes.
Like, he is in the water, but like, the water is so shallow, it doesn't matter.
And he talks about, I think, because of the waves, he is still moving a little bit underneath there too.
And it it makes it, the ripples on the surface make it look like he's moving more, right? So it's really weird and uncomfortable for him to look at, right?
Yeah.
And so he does, after he kind of unsticks himself, he's like, I could just jump into the water, but basically he's like, I could just jump off into the water, but I'm definitely not going in over there. Like, I'm not jumping in the water with him, right? Because he's still there. I can see him.
Still see him.
I'm not joining.
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
I mean, fair enough. So he kind of undoes himself. He also kicks over red hat guy, right? I began to think of clearing it of his last passenger, the dead man, O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of knocks him off the boat too. Now that the boat's like tilted over, he can just sort of like barely nudge him, and he goes over the side. But this is also problematic, right? He went in with the sound of a sounding plunge, and the red cap came off and remained floating on the surface. And as soon as the splash subsided, I could see him and Israel lying side by side, both wavering with the tremendous movement of the water. O'Brien, though still quite a young man, was very bald. There he lay, with his bald head across the knees of the man who had killed him, and the quick fishes steering to and fro over both.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah. So yeah. Now he is the sole master of the ship once again. He does realize he still has some work to do. He has to cut one of the sails off because it's still like the jib sail is still
under strain, right?
Yeah, under strain.
He's worried about damaging the boat.
So he's able to get that down, but the main sail was harder. He had to basically cut it down. Yeah. I cut the halyards and the peak dropped instantly. A great belly of loose canvas floated broad over because he didn't want the sails to catch the wind and yank the boat off the beach. Because then he'd be back to where he was before this whole mess.
Yep.
He's like, I got the boat here, so I gotta keep it on the dang beach. So now I feel that we have come to like even without a bit of foreshadowing here, we have a problem, right? We have Jim, he is a bad choice, right? He decides to leave the ship right now to make it back to the camp, right? But it's getting dark, right? I know the ship is laying over on its side. I know there are some dead people like several feet away. However, I know he's like trying to like escape that, right? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to run away from that fact mostly. But leaving the boat right now is like a horrible plan. We're back to terrible plans again. Like, we're just gonna go right now.
Yep. In this haste, and like, I don't know where this is coming from. If it's just like a matter of, well, that's done, or if it's this urgency. I think part of this is he wants to, I don't know if it's a prove himself to the rest of the people, to let them know he's okay. Like, there's just so much tied up in this decision. I
think there is. He wants to. He's urgent. He's in a hurry to get back because he's gone for longer than he thought. He wants some approval from them for all this nonsense that he had to go through. He wants someone to tell him that it was the right thing to do and it was a good job, right? And also, I think he wants to be back with trustworthy people.
Sure.
Right? Like he spent time on this destroyed, Hispaniola, right? Where it's all dirty and mangy and filthy from the pirate. He's seen the nature of the pirates. And I think he wants to get away from that as much as he can. Right? He wants to get away from that. He wants to go away. Even so much so that he's making quite poor decisions again. He's leaving in the dark. Right? He's wandering and he sees this big giant fire and he's like, oh, that's weird. I wonder who would do that. Anyway, gonna keep going.
La la la. What?
Yep. What? Oh no. He even comments like it was not our way to make such large fires.
No,
but this is where I left everybody. So surely they're still going to be in the log house, right? And he gets there and he creeps up even. He's being sneaky. And then he hears people snoring and he's reassured because he knows that his crew snore. And he's like, oh, clearly.
He's also
all is well.
He's also reassured when somebody yells, all's well. And he goes, well, yeah, somebody just said all's clear, but I'm right here. So it must be the terrible lookouts because they were always bad at that. Right. And I'm like, what a weird. He's just so assured coming back. He's so ready to be back.
Yeah. But he's not seeing the signs here. Right.
Nope.
And he's even like, hey, it'd be funny. I'm just going to sneak in here and I'm going to lay down in my bed. And when they wake up, they're going to be so surprised. And then he kicks something. Right. And a shrill voice broke forth out of the darkness. Pieces of 8. Pieces of 8. Without pause or change. Like the clacking of a tiny mill. Dun, dun, dun. It's the pirates.
Captain Flint, their self.
Oh, yeah.
Who was pecking at the piece of bark. She'd been keeping better watch than any human being, who thus announced my arrival with her wearisome refrain.
Yeah, I did like that.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. And he turns, I love how he turns to run and then just goes slam into somebody who's already up. And then he falls.
Yeah. And he right into the arms of another person.
Yep.
Oh no.
And then we hear, bring a torch.
Bring the torch.
Oh.
When my capture was thus assured. Man, talk about out of the frying pan into the fire. Or some say, escaping goblins to be caught by wolves.
Yes, exactly. This is exactly what people say.
God.
Yes. Nice pull. Gosh.
Right. Bringing it back.
Bring it all the way back.
All the way back.
Oh my goodness.
So we leave Jim this week in great peril.
Great
mortal danger. Even more so than he got himself in before.
Yes.
Right. He had just overcome some danger. He was feeling good about himself. He was like, oh man, these pirates sure are terrible. Sure hope I don't run into any of them again. Oh no.
Guess what?
It's them again.
Literally walked right up to them. So could not have done it. Man, I'm just like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
See what happens here.
There we go. So almost done, right? That'll be part next week. Start part 6. So should have 2 more to go. I was looking, there's like 7 here. So I think we should do 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Finish her up. So here we go. Boom. We'll see how Jim deals with this new reality, because this isn't good.
No.
I think it's extra bad, right? Because like this whole the 2 previous chapters are like we talked about, it's like setting in just how bad these dudes actually are, right? I think he's actually realized now how bad and how dangerous these pirates are. and now he's just stumbled in to the lion's den and is completely taken by them. So I think now like he realizes like, oh, I think he has some sense of how bad this might be now. Right? Yeah. Like where before he was just like, oh, those scallywags are such rascally pirates. I think now he's like, oh no.
Yeah. Because, and I mean, how he kind of like, oh, they're dumb, because they're described as kind of comical in a lot of cases, like, while scary, a lot of the interactions are, they are drunks, right? They are singing weird songs.
They're not like, there's not a lot of danger, really. It's been like part of the narrative here. Like, it's like, oh, this is inconvenient, or oh, this is terrible, but I feel like we've realized that, like, oh, this is like actually dangerous.
Yes.
Right. And again, because he's been completely isolated now, right, for so long, he has nobody else there, no captain, no doctor, not even any squire, not even Ben Gunn, right, to be there. And so he's like so isolated, and he has been so for, a while now, that I think, like you said, he was so ready to be back that he wasn't thinking like normal, right? He was like so ready to be back with his people, and away from the pirates, that he kind of rushed into this whole mess, and now he is completely surrounded by pirates, and he's definitely just like, oh no.
And
how am I getting out of this one?
Oh, exactly. And what a claustrophobic feeling, right? To be like, oh my gosh, I just clawed and fought my way to get far from this guy, and now
right back in.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Good stuff. I'm excited to see how this.
Yeah, me too.
Going fast now.
That is true. Yeah, we're definitely hotted up now, because for a long time it was kind of like, all right, Robert, let's go. But I mean, it's never been like real bad, but like now it's definitely so pretty good stuff here. So I have a haiku to leave you with.
Aha!
Right?
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Brought to you by walking the streets of Copenhagen, Denmark.
Aha. Okay, my eyes are closed. I'm putting myself.
Here we go. Okay. Vibrant colors burst twixt gray skies and cobblestones, stopping passersby.
Nice. I like that. Nice. Very. Cobblestones. Okay, I'm there. I see it.
Boom. All right. There you go.
Love this.
Division.
Boom. Okay. Very nice. Good one. I love it. Okay. Well, we will continue our journey into Treasure Island.
Peril
indeed.
See if there's actually any treasure on this island. See if that comes up ever again.
I don't know. No.
We are kind of have forgotten about that. But it's fine.
Oh, so we'll see what other peril Jim can get into and out of in the same chapter.
No doubt.
Very good. So we will do that next time.
Alrighty.
Okay. Very good. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.